So I believe we are now in the air. I hope we are. And I want to welcome everyone here and I see that people are joining, and it's great to see people coming in. So we will, create some white noise as long as people are entering. And it's great to see people from different places joining. So Andrew, I see that you are on mute, so you're welcome also to unmute yourself. Yeah, the moment that you feel comfortable with that. Okay, and we'll use this minute or two. I will warmly, welcome everyone here to our webinar. And a short story to tell. Today, I actually decided to switch a little bit from being an active part, answering questions and telling stories on the webinar, and I changed the concept a little bit. I wanted to welcome here basically the people the professionals that I think really add to the jewelry e-commerce a lot. So when I was asked why I didn't want to take part in this webinar, why I selected something that is not related to what Valigara does. Valigara, I'll just give some background, is the solution for jewelers selling online. We try to make it a one-stop shop from inventory management to most deepest analytics and optimization. So then why speak about marketplaces? Why speak and why actually not to take the scene myself, but invite other people? The reason is very simple. What we see that even the best technology which we strive to provide, which we provide, I hope, is not worth too much without having the right person in your team. And this is, and having the right knowledge. So from seeing a lot of jewelers, working with a lot of jewelers on a daily basis, what we see, even that we provide the technology, what is missing is the right knowledge in our clients' teams. And I wanted actually you to get the most updated information on what happens on marketplaces. Not another Corona pandemic and panic webinar, but speaking directly, what happens now on eBay, on Amazon, and on Etsy? Because without this knowledge, no best technology will help. So I am really, really glad to have here with me my colleagues, and I want to basically introduce them first. It was a big problem for me to select how to present them. At the end, it will be alphabetically, because each one of these specialists is a great specialist with knowledge enough for thousands of jewelers, thousands of Etsy, eBay, Amazon, Walmart, whatever stores. So I'll start with Sergiu. Sergiu is the owner, the soul, and the CEO of AMZGemz. He successfully launched 2 private label jewelry brands. Was one of the first on Amazon actually to sell fine jewelry and luxury jewelry. And if we speak about his some experience on Amazon, it's more than $100 million of jewelry online sold for him, for his clients. Now, in addition, what actually is very interesting in working with Sergiu is his deep knowledge of the US market. And I deeply believe that it's not only about eBay, Amazon, and Etsy. There are very interesting marketplaces we have, and I hope we'll get some interesting insights from Sergiu on this. So, and actually Sergiu works with some of the top 10 sellers on Amazon, which might be interesting for all of us to know how this is. So thank you for coming, Sergiu. And say something so that they will see you probably full screen. Or or maybe not. So next by the ABC of the family names is Rowson, Mr. Rowson, Andrew Rowson. So Andrew is really, I'm not sure that I want to read how many years you are in multi-channel world already. Andrew is the CEO and the soul, I really am sure, of Emotive, the multi-channel service company. And Andrew was one of the first people to work on eBay when they reached the UK. Again, not to remind when it was. So Andrew worked with numerous multi-channel businesses worldwide and advises and also implements the e-commerce strategy. Founded Emotive in 2013, and I think that how Andrew says, and I really share this with him, his most passion is to grow sellers online. And I'm really glad that you are here with me today. Sorry, Andrew. Yep. Yep, it's good to have you here. And of course, Liran. So Liran is, if we speak about soul, then probably Liran is the soul of Etsy. Here in Israel, we're based in Israel, to those who might not know. So Liran actually created, educated, grew the largest and most professional Etsy, and then expanded to handmade. So basically Etsy team in the world that I know. I actually checked on Facebook a lot of local groups and multiple Etsy groups, and I have to admit that Liran, your Etsy group is the most professional, with a very good drill down into not selling, but having very precise answers to the questions that people ask. More than 7,000 people, if I remember right. Yeah.
Actually, we celebrated last week 7,000 people, which is the number of shops from Israel on Etsy.
Really, this is, yeah. So yeah, as much as I know, Liran covers something like 80% of all the Etsy in yeah. So these are and in addition what actually Liran does with his top e-commerce knowledge, he educates, he consults all the handmade and jewelry businesses, and he is a representative for Israeli Etsy sellers group in Israeli Export Institute. So his I think that it will be okay to say that you work with thousands of jewelers on Etsy. It's amazing numbers. So I'm really glad that, guys, all of you are here with me today. And okay, and I will start asking questions. So what I actually say myself as a main as a main target today for our setting, marketplaces are getting a lot of interest, as all of us see, and I wanted you to share why actually does it happen with the Corona times, after Corona times, the new reality, whatever virtual reality that we're having right now. Why does this change happen, and what actually do you expect to happen next, both from the customer's behavior, both from the marketplace's behavior? If you can share it with us, and Andrew, as a more multi-channel person, please, if you can start.
Thanks, Igor. So marketplaces, in my mind, have always been popular. 2/3 of every online transaction occurs on a marketplace. Now, what COVID has done, I mentioned it, and the first time and only time I mention COVID, I promise you that. But what it has done is put this on steroids during this period of time. So it's really increased the amount of people using both websites, marketplaces. The good thing about marketplaces, it's so quick and easy to get on there because they come with custom bases. So it's not a case of building a website and then working out how to attract people to that website. it's a different buyer experience. You have to attract people to your listings. There's buyers already there, whether it's Amazon, eBay, Etsy, and other ones around different parts of the world.
Okay, cool. So yeah, this makes complete sense to me, Sergio. If you have any ideas to add to this.
Yep. Yeah. So due to COVID-19, I'll mention again one time, just to COVID-19 aggressive growth from channel like companies like Amazon, big changes in the jewelry industry like lab-grown diamond, shifting power from baby boomers to the millennials. We see and we will see dramatic changes in the online jewelry marketplaces. So new generation of consumers, they don't want to buy anymore jewelry like they used to buy. Just go in the store, buy the jewelry, they're happy. They want to make sure they're environmentally friendly, conflict free, and the company that doesn't want to embrace this kind of change, they will see huge problems in their company. So according to De Beers, millennials drive 80% of the diamond jewelry in China and 60% of those in US. So if the company will not adjust their strategy according to the demand, then they'll get in trouble, you know? So I personally believe online and lab-grown diamond is the future of jewelry.
Mm-hmm. So actually what I mentioned to what you said, it feels to me that because of the COVID, we're kind of, on one side, we're 10 years forward, but also 10 years backward. Means the new people joined again the e-commerce and joined very rapidly. They were inserted into the e-commerce without that they actually wanted because of the COVID. So what happens, these people, they don't have the habit of purchasing online. And because of this, they go to the most obvious place, which is the marketplace. So could it be
the only place? And the only
yes, the only place that they know, like like Amazon and eBay, the biggest ones, and slowly, maybe also switching to more niche marketplaces, like for example Etsy, or maybe more handmade things, more dedicated. What do you think, Liran? Could it be a reason and what could be, in addition to this, a reason for?
Actually, at the beginning of the COVID, pandemic, so most of the people purchase food. Food and toilet paper and things like that. And later on, we have birthdays, anniversaries. We have a lot to celebrate, and people are bored at home, have nothing to do, so they're purchasing. And the best place to purchase is on the Etsy, eBay, Amazon. There they can find to buy with confidence. And actually on Etsy, what happened, which was I'm not sure if it's surprisingly, but a lot of people start looking for face masks. Unique face mask, and the market grow in 30%, in 30% just because of the face mask in the last 2 months. A lot of people were looking for face masks. A lot of new audience, new people that it's the first time that they saw Etsy, and around 20% of them came back. It's a new generation of buyers on Etsy, and now they're buying everything. And once again, they will buy in confidence because it's a marketplace. It's a decent marketplace. Igor, you're on mute.
Thank you. Sorry, I try not to cough because.
But we understand what you meant.
Thank you. Thank you. So actually, you're saying it's not only new generation of sellers, but also buyers in. So they go to really protected places, and it's actually interesting because you touch something like which is compensating on the lost opportunities. Actually, we should be with Andrew in April. We should be in eBay Thailand, and then US. And instead of this, we finished home, which actually means that some of the budgets in the families was free. So it's a compensational purchasing basically started to happen. So in this relation, if Sergiu, because you specialize mostly with luxury brands, okay? What do you think? There is a lot of really opposite things being told how much is the luxury affected by this? So some say that it's dead for the next 2 years, and others say the opposite. How do you see the current situation, and where will it go?
Yeah, that's a good question. So regarding that, I don't know how everybody's thinking that luxury is dead. Amazon, as you know, they announced that at the beginning of 2020, they will launch their own digital platform, luxury fashion. And they built their big warehouse in Arizona for this. They have a $100 million marketing campaign for this. And they already have 12 luxury brands. We don't know what are their brands, but they have it there. And as you know, Amazon doesn't jump on opportunity without checking their data. So they must have a good data to jump on this kind of opportunity. They tried before, they failed, they didn't have success. Jewelry for them, it's still something that they try to figure out. And I advise everybody, it's still a lot of opportunity and for jewelry, brand name jewelry specifically in Amazon. And I don't know if Amazon will be successful in fashion with big designers because, as you know, a lot of counterfeit inventory from big companies end up on the market. So I don't know if big companies will trust them in the future to be in the same platform with the fake products, but I still believe Amazon is the future and they will do what is right to make sure that small jewelry brands will be successful in the future. That's my personal opinion. So it's no way it's dead. It's, I believe, has a huge future. Just a regular transition from offline world to online world for most of the companies.
And do you think that Amazon will continue to try pursuing their own jewelry brand? And if they still do you think that there is still a place for regular third-party sellers on this marketplace?
Yes, so Amazon is a company that they sell very well, everything, and ship very fast, but they're not designers, they're not jewelry, they're not artists. So there is impossible for them to copycat somebody's design and just sell there. So they'll do good in stud earrings and regular items. But if you want to buy something unique, something beautiful, you go on Etsy or you go somewhere else. Currently, not a lot of brand name jewelry wants to go on Amazon because they have a $5,000 non-refundable fee. There is a lot of steps there, but they're working to remove that and allow more and more brand name jewelry in the fashion and fine category. So I hope I answer your question.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Thank you, Sergiu. So, Andrew, by the way, I'm not sure I will jump in with my questions to what I actually planned and what people sent here, but for the more established sellers, not for the new beginners, I would say for, saying the $50,000 and up monthly, comparing the work before BC and AC, today it's before Corona and after Corona. So in the AC times, what has changed? And do you recommend to update somehow their work for the more established people, Andrew?
Yeah, so that's a really interesting question. And to touch on what Liran said, is there's been waves of different buying patterns throughout Corona. So there was, people were panicking, they were buying the essentials. That lasted for a few weeks. Then they've moved on as they've been locked down in their home and they're starting to get back to normal and, well, as normal can be. And they're coming back in their normal buying patterns. Now, with regards to promoting and established sellers, I always say this isn't rocket science. You've got to think like a buyer, okay? And most of the sellers out there, they really know the category they're selling, jewelry, and they really know what attracts buyers, whether that's their traditional routes to market with bricks and mortar and establishing great displays, great advertising to bring people into the store. It's the same online. You just have to do it slightly different, because the way you acquire those customers are slightly different. But the basics of selling is the same. You've got to attract buyers to your listing, you've then got to engage them, and then you've got to then get them to commit. And that's what it's all about. So there's lots of different programs out there. You know, Amazon has its promoted listings, so does eBay. And, you know, I always say this to the team, only use those programs if your listing is great to start off with, because all you're doing, if it's not, is you're pulling buyers into a listing that isn't going to convert. So do the homework, make sure that you're matching all the requirements that the marketplace has to do, and then promote the hell out of it using the different programs.
Yeah. That makes completely sense. You know, Andrew, and the question to this is, let's say the established sellers, they only, hopefully, they already established some team, external, internal, but they do have a team which already operates for them. I mean, the e-commerce team. If we speak about the new sellers, okay, who are only looking to establish this, you know, this dream for them, this e-commerce, or just making their first step. From your experience working with the people, what would you say? Who would be this person to hire, maybe, or to look for, and how much time does it take? You know, this beginning.
Yeah, no, that's a really interesting question. So if we just turn this as, let's say you're opening a brand new store in Tel Aviv, okay, or New York, okay? You plan that, you make sure there's good displays, you advertise that, okay? And it's the same with online, whether it's your website or marketplaces. You have to specialize and understand what works. Now, you understand what a buyer wants and their journey, and marketplaces embrace that journey, whether it's color, size, material, different carrots. The journey has evolved on Amazon, eBay, Etsy as time goes on. So it's all then about data, okay? And this is where you then need to take it to the next level, okay? So the data has to match the search patterns that people are looking for on those sites. So this is where you then take it to the next stage from opening a traditional bricks and mortar store. You know, people get attracted by price, and when they're walking past, they love the displays. You've got to, not just embrace that on marketplaces, but you also have to embrace the different data touch points to bring them to their listings and then convert them.
Mm-hmm. And then related to this, and you know, I want to ask specifically Liran, because you see people when they just come to the Etsy group, the most established Etsy group in Israel, I want to start selling on Etsy. And then you bring them to $1 million accounts. As we know, this does exist on Etsy too. Not many people are aware of this. But again, what would be this first person to use for your e-commerce operation? Who is this guy to look for the new guy?
Actually, it will be the photographer.
Wow. Okay.
That's all. I mean, or if you don't have a great photo, you're wasting your time. No research, keyword research, and no pricing. Nothing will help. You need to have the best photo. I mean, there is another 39 photos on the same page, and yours should be the best. I mean, you don't have to have a fine photo. You need to have the best photos, and sometimes it costs. You know, there is a lot of rendering today. You know, you're doing on Rhino and all kind of system. You make the jewelry, and you can make actually a good photo without photography actually. But you should understand actually in each marketplace there are different photos. I mean, on Amazon you must have a clear white photo. But on Etsy, I guess it's much better to have it on the body. I mean, with a model, this can make the difference. I mean, the whole different. Mm-hmm. So if the guy is not a photographer, at least he must have the right eyes to understand what is the best photo to choose. You know, well, he can do a lot of A/B testing. This is something to understand. I mean, A/B testing meaning to take the same listing with two different photos. You know, you can do it with this, with two different titles and keywords. But the first thing I would have checked is different photos to see which is the best photo for your brand. You know, if you're selling, let's say, affordable jewelry with only 1 point diamonds, so maybe you need to have photos like on Instagram, something like more live for the youths. This is something very important. I mean, this can be this is a game changer for sure. Okay. And then you have all the system to find keywords and everything else and ads. But this is the first thing. I mean, I you know, I have a lot of meetings, see all kind of stores and all kind of artists. And the first thing that I look at is about the photos. I mean, or ask them, have you sold online on Israel, maybe on Facebook, maybe on Instagram? This is a good thing. I mean, if you made some sales earlier, so you have a good photos. You can start with it. If not, first of all, go to a photographer and make at least 50 items. I mean, to see it if it's work right.
That's very. I think that's a very big pain for everyone. I see everybody is nodding like
this is
that.
it.
Right.
I mean, before you put money on advertising, put money on photographer. That's for sure.
So this makes complete sense. So let's say, Sergiu, let's say your dream came true and you have a good photos from the jeweler that you work with, right? Yes. It's not that obvious. And I think this point that Liran made here is really amazing. So so again, when you get to the work, when you get the you know, the e-commerce moving, and we know that it's a lot about photography, logistics, a lot of things that only the jeweler himself can organize. What does it mean to manage this e-commerce? Who is this person, this magical person that appears in the company and manages this? How does it work?
That's the me question, right?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I would like to do a little bit different here and explain. Let's say there's a small company that they just want to start selling in Amazon. What's the first steps and how they can do that before they can hire a company? Because not everybody, a company or a person can do that. So there is steps that you can first. I believe in testing. You know, you don't have to spend a lot of money. So I advise you to dedicate 5 hours per week. If you can do 5 hours per week, then, and you have success, you can hire somebody to do that stuff. So at the beginning, let's say you're a brand name fashion jewelry, a small company that have unique design and you want to expand your business. You just go on Amazon, you apply for fashion license, it's free, you don't have to pay anything, they will accept your license. Pick your 10 bestsellers items. If you don't know what's your 10 bestseller items, just pick 10 items that you think have a better chance to sell online. Then photography. I know, like Liran said, it's important. I can talk about photography and images for 5 straight hours and people still not do that. So it's crucial to the success, the images. At the beginning, take your iPhone and there is a lot of apps that you can, they can help you to do a nice, very good pictures. Do the pictures, use the lighting, try like 100 times, you'll see nice. Go on Upwork, send those pictures, hire a guy that is $5 per hour, ask him to remove the background, make sure it's white background. They'll do a good job, trust me, you'll be impressed what images they can make. After that, check the competition, check who is on Amazon selling something similar with your product. Check the titles, the bullet points and description. Try not to copy them, but make it similar to them. So you don't have to use tools like Jungle Scout or Helium 10 that cost a lot of money. It's too soon for you, it's too complicated, it will overwhelm you. Get inspired, that's what I said, not copy. Get inspired with the titles and bullet points they do. And after you list all those 10 items, create just one automated campaign with Amazon. It's very easy, anybody can do that. If you cannot, just go on YouTube and search, and in 2 minutes you'll be able to do that. Allocate $10 per day. It's not a lot, it's a lot. And wait at least 30 days. And you'll be surprised the magic of Amazon automated campaign, what they can do for your store. When you see a first sale, celebrate. If you don't see that sales, go back and check the impression. You'll have impression, trust me. Check the impression, and if you have impression, but you don't have sales, that means you have some problems with conversion. Check the listings. I don't know, something's wrong there. You have to take a look at most of the time it's pricing or images. So one of those two. If you're successful with those 10 images, take another 10. After you done 20, then you can start thinking about hire somebody. And what qualities, answer to your eager question, is the quality that you, in the test, you did the testing, you know what quality. Good, somebody can do good images, titles, all the stuff. So it's kind of the test will let you know what good person can be for this journey. So I hope, Igor, that's not,
that makes complete sense. So if I will summarize, I hope it makes sense when we are being asked here, how much should I allocate when I go online? I mean, for the people, right? The right person. I never recommend personally allocate less than a quarter of position for this. And better for the beginning is a part-time person. Let's say half
or an employee in your company, or an employee that you already have in your company. So you don't have to hire somebody. Just allocate that employee 5 hours per week or whatever amount you can afford.
And and this actually the next logical question that we always hear here. Okay, so let's say we take somebody in-house, or we start working with Andrew, with Sergiu, we get the help from Liran, but where I, as a business person, where do I expect results? So how long should be my strategy? How quickly should I see my results? Should I build it? What are my realistic expectations, let's say for the first month, first quarter, first year, first 2 years? So Andrew, you work with people of different scales and different stages. So
so it depends on the country. So if I'm talking about Europe, for example, the UK, Germany are the biggest e-commerce markets. You would expect seeing some traction to your listings. And again, the platform eBay boosts your listings for the first 2 weeks. So you should see some traction to start off with. Then it's also to see how many looks you've had on your listings, to then the conversion. There's different tools there as well on the different channels. So eBay has the ability to know who looked at your listing, and you can make an offer to those people that have looked on your listing. So you can then benchmark the price as well. People buy for 3 different reasons: price, quality, and availability. And you don't want to be getting into a price war, but that will, the lower the price you are, the more traction you can drive, depending on how competitive the area that you are selling in. The challenge is this category is very emotional, and it's around events. It's around, whether it's anniversary events, whether it's Black Friday, or whether it's Christmas, birthdays, that sort of thing. So it's all about grabbing that traffic. So you should see traffic coming instantaneously, then conversions. You've got to work on the conversions. That should be within the first couple of months. To answer that question.
Liran, what do you think about it? Let's say for the business, let's say the one-man show businesses, the businesses on the handmade industry, right? You see hundreds of people consulting with you. So what do you think about this? Is it possible to survive for these small businesses? Should they prepare themselves for 5-year strategy? It's too much for
5 years strategy is way too much. Especially both of us know in Israel, it's way too much. People actually expect to have, after 2 weeks, why
I don't have sales?
Why don't have sales? So I tell them, you should open your store open your store, then you'll have sales. I'm kidding. But actually, at least a quarter to understand. I mean, it will take 2-3 months to start to understand. I mean, the few weeks is just to upload items to the system. I mean, and then you should start the promoted listings to run. and check your keywords once again and check your photography. There is at least a quarter of a year just to understand where are you standing if you're in the right course. I mean, and then I'll guess that after a month you will see sales. I mean, if you run promoted listing, I mean, there is a conversion rate. If people will come to your shop, someone will buy. Okay, so you will have some sales. If you don't have a sales for a month and you have thousands of people coming to your shop, it's exactly like Sergiu said. It's something about the pricing, I guess. I mean, it's not the photography, because no one will click on your ad if it's not good photography. But you price something way up, or actually way down. Diamond ring in $5. Something is wrong, so no one will buy it. I mean, this is something to check. But usually it's at least a quarter to start understanding if you are in the right course. That's for sure.
So you touched some interesting thing here. Thank you, Liran. And it's I already see questions coming from the people who listen to us and see the webinar. And one question from Jonathan now comes in: what is the typical conversion on? Yeah, this is the favorite question on eBay. But I think it's it's just one thing I would like you to say about Etsy, and then Sergiu on Amazon, and then the numbers about eBay, and how do you increase conversion rates if the traffic is there? So Etsy.
Okay, so on Etsy, usually, I mean, there's a lot of dependency. It's about the price. I mean, if it's a $5 item, so it's maybe 1 to 20 or 1 to 40 visitor, someone will buy. But this is only on the $5 items that no one need to think think too much. Usually in the jewelry industry, I guess, in the, let's say $100 or $200 and above, you need to have at least 300 visitors to have a sale. I mean, on a day-to-day basis. I mean, if you have a store with 1,000 visitors per day and not even one sale, there's something to be examined.
Yeah, obviously.
Okay.
But
it's somewhere between 200 to 600 people to have a sale. I guess. Okay. Once again, it depends on the pricing as well. I mean, people. Let's talk about wedding rings. Before I'm buying a wedding ring, I'm doing a lot of search around. I mean, check around, comparing pricing, asking few sellers about the diamond, about the shape, a lot of questions. So it's not the thing that you take online. It will take you a few weeks. So this is something that make the conversion 1 to 300. If you are selling, let's say, rings in around $100 and below, people will not ask any question; they just buy. So the conversion rate will be much like something 1 to 200. And I guess with a lot of photos, I mean, 10 photos or 9 or 5 photos, which explain exactly everything. I mean, the size, the texture through the photos, they will not ask questions.
Yeah, sure. Okay, thank you. So what you're saying also, so we speak for different niches between 2% and also it can come to 0.3% on Etsy, depending on the channel. And yes, obviously images are important. You save a lot of customer service, and you save a lot of mistakes, wrong purchases, returns. Yeah, that's obvious. So yeah, this is a very important point, that images help not just to sell, but not to get returns and get the right client. So Andrew, about eBay, what are the numbers that you see?
Yeah, so in relation to eBay, it is, again, it depends. To echo what Liran said, it is very similar to Etsy with regards to the category. If you're doing $5, $10, $15 items, then it is a numbers game, and it's matching against those items in that sort of category in order to get the traffic. It's around about, it's slightly less, it's around about 200 views to a sale If you've got any more than that, then you need to look at your listing and understanding why it's not converting, because you're getting the traffic onto that. As we're getting onto the higher ticket items, such as diamond rings, then it gets a lot lower in respects to the amount of numbers to the conversion, because normally the people that click through are more likely to be more serious about buying on eBay from our experience. So they then convert. So it's around about the 100 mark on that. And one other thing I just want to also put out there as well, it's also about your reputation on these marketplaces as well that drives the traffic. So it's important that you live and die by your reputation, dispatching on time, making sure if it's listed it is in stock, making sure you honor that price when they commit to buy. So you've got to make sure it's exact on there. And then also returns. Returns in Europe are a legal requirement. You've got to accept returns back. In the US, that's driven more by Amazon saying that you have to accept returns back, but it's not necessarily a legal requirement. It's more a customer service element. So if you do accept those, then you're more likely to be pushed up in search and you'll get more traffic, which then means you'll get more sales. So you've got to just keep working on that reputation. That sort of thing.
Yeah, that's a very important point, that basically when we work on the marketplaces, the promotion of the listing goes in two different directions. One, the promotion of the seller of the store, and all the listings enjoy this promotion. And on the other side, we have to improve the listing itself, as exactly Jonathan again asks on the chat, what should I do to improve the conversion? So there is a lot of things, technical things to be done for each marketplace. On the other side, of course, to improve the performance on the store. And I hope this answers the question. And Sergiu, on Amazon, are the numbers similar or any real serious difference?
So before I share some of the numbers, which, as you know, for different sellers, for different products is different. Conversion for somebody that we have an Amazon choice badge, it's a high. For somebody that doesn't have that is a low. So the numbers is irrelevant to share with each company has different. But what I can share, how you can improve your, answer the question, how you can improve the conversion rate if the traffic is there. So most of the time they see first image, like Liran explained. First image, it's beautiful image, and you have good price because you lower the price because you want to have sales right away, which is a very bad strategy at the beginning. And they click on your item, they go on your item, they see just one image, one bullet point, no description, and you expect them to convert. So that's not gonna happen. You have to focus first on lifestyle image. First, you did a good job, first image. Second lifestyle image, you can do it on your phone, in your ear, if it's earring. And then you can do a couple more items, beautiful on the background, stuff like that. And it's very important to do a lifestyle video of the item on Amazon. You can do that with your phone, you put in your finger, like in Instagram stuff. Then second point, focus on the bullet points. Bullet points is there to close the sale, to explain the customer why they should buy this product from you, not from others. If you do not focus on the bullet points, they will scroll a little bit down and they will see sponsored products. And trust me, 99% of the time, they will find somebody else with a better price. Your goal is to make sure that you have all the images that they want to see on the reel, how they look on them. Bullet points explain why I should buy it. Then they'll click next to the box to buy box. And one of the most important thing is in the listings in Amazon, people do not use search term field in the back end of the Amazon. They do not fill up those search terms with the words that is related to the product. If you don't do that, that's like wasting your time and money. It's out there. Amazon will crawl your title and the search term first time. If you do that, you'll have advantage, and you'll trust me. If you do that, in 1 month, you'll see conversion increased by 10% at least for the items that you used to sell 1 or 2 per month. Mm-hmm. So images, bullet points, title, search terms to make it easier and clear.
Yeah. Very, very precise, yeah, of course. And yeah, that's it's easy to count them. It's not
Yeah.
it's not easy to implement all of this. We know this. Yeah.
Well, you can hire a company, Igor. You can hire a company to do that for you.
True.
You know,
True.
it's easier. It's
Of course,
easier.
you need, and this is probably the main thing I want to display here in our webinar today, that selling jewelry online does not require the skill of the jewelry, which we hear from jewelers. Of course, I have the best jewelry in the world, but it's the combination. On one side is the jewelry, and the other side is the e-commerce, and this is the skill that people have to acquire. Now, and actually, there is another question. I'm switching a little bit from my plan to the questions that we get from people who attended.
Yeah.
And I appreciate your time, and welcome to shoot the questions here in the chat. And Tara Mansell, I think that this is a question that Liran, you can answer most precisely. Is there a better place than Etsy and Amazon for high-end and handmade designer jewelry? Prices are quite low, but our jewelry is priced between 200 to 1,500 euro, which is a price bracket not seen on these platforms. So Liran, from what you see in the handmade, what actually it's very interesting if you see some success on additional marketplaces, because everybody is okay. There is Etsy and Amazon handmade. What else is in the game today?
I'll make an Israeli answer. The answer is no, or let me rephrase it. On Etsy, actually, I suggest you to sell items in $200 and above. I mean, it's not worth it to play with $100 or even $30 for a piece. I mean, just to go to the post office for this, it's not worth it. Mm-hmm. People sells. I mean, there is a lot of sales in around $1,000 on Etsy. It's the way that you look. That's all. Okay, Tara. I mean, the way that you look at Etsy. You can go and you can search for item above 200 or 200 euros on Etsy, and you will find a lot of, and you will find also a lot of sales. People are buying in I mean, let's say it like that. If you are selling wedding rings, I don't think someone will buy a wedding ring in $30. I mean, of course they will buy in $200 and above, and they will buy it on Etsy. I mean, this is a great place to buy the wedding rings, engagement rings, anniversary, promise, whatever, and they will purchase it in 200 and above, I guess. I mean, not just guessing. I work with a lot of Israeli jewelers that sells. Their price point is around $1,000 per item. Okay, and they're selling on a daily basis. I mean, on a daily basis, maybe 1, 2, 3 items, not 1,000 of items per day on Etsy. I mean, you're selling it to a person, not to a company. But Etsy is a great place for this price. I mean, I thought when I just saw the question, I saw that you are talking about, let's say, $10,000 and above. And sure, and here I don't think there is a marketplace, because when the price is that high, it usually will not end only online. It will be with talks and calls and things like this.
Okay, even that. Yeah, this I agree. So again, here at Valigara, we see different sellers, and we mostly concentrate on data. Okay, and from this data, from our observation, eBay works perfectly with items also. Well, the normal pricing that we recommend is below $10,000. The Amazon is a little bit or much lower, about $1,000, or completely luxury with $100,000. And then Etsy works perfectly up to $5,000, which is I would say $4,000 is completely normal numbers. So the question is there anything besides that? And in Europe, besides the big brothers, what else happens there?
First of all, I don't think I would have ever got married if I bought my wife a $30 wedding ring. I don't think we would have got past the event, but and I didn't know there was $30 wedding rings. Anyway, but so one thing, I'm going to mention COVID again, because actually you can learn some things from this. There's two big things that I've learned from this. The first thing is the age group that are buying, okay? So, you know, my parents who are 80, they haven't left the house for 10 weeks and they've just bought absolutely everything online. They never used to do that. So there's a big shift for that age group. And these are the people that have disposable income. These are the people that will tap into the different marketplaces because they're tapping into the marketing spend of those marketplaces to attract them to the products online. Mm-hmm. The second thing, to really answer your question, Igor, is looking at emerging internet countries. So I'm based in Bulgaria, which we would class as a third world internet country. A lot of things are still done the traditional way, buying into stores. That's flipped because of COVID. It was increasing before, but now it's gone like that. So, and they're forced to do that. So that has then upped their game. So looking at the emerging marketplaces, so you've got first to market advantage on those marketplaces. So for example, Eastern Europe, it's eMAG is an example of that. You're looking at Middle East, like Souk.com, which is owned by Amazon. So you're looking at those areas. Scandinavia, they price is not a problem in Scandinavia. And there's about 3 or 4 different sites, some owned by eBay, believe it or not, as well, in Scandinavia. Turkey as well, you know, you've got Gidigidia, which is another, you know, up and coming. There's a huge population in Turkey. And it's looking at other areas, not just your traditional US, UK, Germany, as part of that option as well, if all that makes sense.
Absolutely. And actually, I heard a name of the marketplace I even cannot repeat from Turkey. So you will have to send.
Oh, I'm not saying that right. Gidigidia.
So you will have to send it in chat probably after that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's actually owned by eBay as well. So it is a, yeah.
So what is interesting here, what we see basically with our clients is that because of there is a lot of mess now on the logistics, on the transportation, on the carriers, there is a big shift to a local purchase, which actually now creates a lot of opportunity for the local people. They might not have the best even offer compared to the classical, you know, Thailand and then India and then Chinese sellers. But the fact that they are close to their buyer, and we have some problems now with shipping internationally, worldwide, it creates an interesting opportunity. So also so the localization becomes much more relevant.
Just to add on to that as well, and that's quite interesting. So you look at Lazada, for example, in Southeast Asia, and you look at the Chinese one. China has more millionaires, more, you know, the chasm between wealth and poverty, it's huge. And they love buying branded items, they love buying luxury items. And that's opportunity. Just because they're low economic areas, that doesn't necessarily mean that there's no opportunity there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I completely agree. Yeah. So, you know, just to finish maybe the additional marketplaces, I just opened my list of what we integrate or plan to integrate in Valigara, and I just see that there is a lot of smaller marketplaces. And actually, you know, I'm looking from Amazon, eBay, Etsy, Rapnet, Alibaba, Bonanza, Sears, Walmart, Katawiki, Overstock, OpenSky, Tmall, Jet, Flipkart, AliExpress, Flipkart, Rakuten, 11man, Ruby, the Wish, Artfire, IDEX, Half.com, and Newegg, Jure, Ice, First Beats, Find Jurors 24, BestBuy.com, Poshmark. It's endless. So I think that the choice is there, and the right answer is where you know to sell, and this is the most important thing here. that you cannot attend, like use Valigara to push the button and be in 20 marketplaces. It makes no sense, because today there are a lot of professional sellers on the marketplaces, like we see here, some of them, who will just do the same better. So the answer is to concentrate on a few. And the Sergiu, still, what I wanted to hear specifically from you about the US market. What do you think about the additional marketplaces in the US? What happens there? We know that Walmart now really has good days, and what happens on Sears, on Bonanza, and other marketplaces?
Yeah, Sears is dead. Bonanza, don't waste your time. Walmart. Let's talk about Walmart. So if you're a jeweler, focus on Amazon, eBay, Etsy. Don't waste your time with Shopify, your own store, eBay, all the stuff. To be honest with you, if you have time and too much money, good luck with that. Walmart is a marketplace that in the jewelry category now across our accounts, we see 100% growth year over year. As you know, guys, Walmart sell the most jewelry in US offline than anybody else. So they're king of the jewelry. They have the data. So they know Amazon is struggling in the jewelry category. So they start focusing on the jewelry category, using their data offline and feed the sellers with what best sellers to do all that. So if you have time and resources, don't think that Walmart is a market that people buy cheap products there. Not in the jewelry, you know. We sold $5,000 ring, $2,000 ring. People still go buy in Walmart, and there is other clientele that they're against Amazon. They don't want to buy from Amazon. So the next marketplace after Amazon to buy jewelry that you can trust, high-end purchase jewelry, is Walmart. So Walmart is a marketplace that has future in the jewelry category, and they will challenge Amazon very quick in that category.
I agree with you completely. Thank you for saying this. Liran, I want some very precise, well, the next question I have here in my mind is very, the pain one, the promotions, the paid promotions, the PPC, the world of the PPC. And this is where people struggle because you need some budgets. So two questions here. First, any tricks on Etsy for paid promo, or maybe not tricks, but best practices? Just one thing to say to the people what to do and maybe not to do. And another thing, is there a chance of living today without the promotions? And if there is no, or if maybe also if there is, what is the right budget? How do I define the budget? What is the minimal budget? And is it possible without?
Okay, so it is possible without, but you won't go to great places with no advertising. I mean, you have alternatives. I mean, to bring traffic from outside of Etsy, but the Etsy ads should work fine. Okay, I mean, if you put at least $10 per day, at least. I mean, and usually, I recommend if you're in the jewelry industry to go with $25 per day at least to see something. I mean, then you'll be a very big investor on Etsy. Most of the people will put $1 or $2, and it's just waste money because it's 2 clicks or 3 clicks per day. Actually, what happens if you put only $1 or $2? It's 7 a.m. and you're out of the contest. That's what happens. I mean, and if I put 25, I'm all around the day. This is the greatest tip, I guess. If you put low budget, 7 a.m. you are out of the context. That's all. Secondly, if you want to invest in other places to bring traffic to Etsy, the place called Pinterest. Okay, and it's called Pinterest PPC. Pinterest has a great PPC system. It can bring you a lot of traffic in a very cheap price. Okay, if you look at, if you will search, let's say in forgot the name, Alexa or other places to check where the traffic come to Etsy, you will find that from the social media, 47% will come from Pinterest. And there is another place that called Instagram, which brings only 4%. Okay? 40%, 47% against 4%. And most of the people will put all their efforts to Instagram. And why? I mean, the question is why? Pinterest will bring you much more, and you know, most of the moms on Earth, on the US are 80% of the US mothers are on Pinterest, and they're taking their first step before they buy it, before they purchase something. They will start on Pinterest. And most of the sellers will not work on Pinterest. They will took all the efforts to Instagram. And I think this can be a game changer as well, to work hard on Pinterest.
Okay, so yeah, so the combination of the social marketing and the obviously in the marketplaces is critical. We see sometimes up to 70% of the traffic of the good sellers we see that comes from the social channels, and not specifically from the PPC. I don't know if this can work, Sergio, on Amazon.
Regarding PPC, no, it doesn't. So Amazon has a data. There's tons of data, so you don't have to go outside. That's why you pay Amazon a small percentage. You have to include your cost, your advertising in the price of the item. So you don't have to spend your time and go on Pinterest and Google all the stuff to do that stuff. As you know, #1 search engine for products in US is Amazon.com, not Google anymore, for quite some time, and about 50%. So regarding PPCs, Liran is right. You can put $25 on Amazon and it'll be gone by 6 a.m. So on Amazon is a different story. They have a huge traffic. So I advise everybody who starts with and doesn't have a company like PrestoZone or other company that can manage that for you, just make sure you put you start advertising your money after 11 a.m. Pacific time. You know, that's when people actually stay in the office, they get bored, they had the lunch, and then let's go on Amazon to browse. So that's the one they put the jewelry in the shopping cart. After 5 or 6 p.m., they are home at dinner, all the stuff. So what we noticed during the lunch, they browse, put in the shopping cart, and after dinner, when the kids go to bed, they do check out. You know, so we actually advertise. We have a time frame when I advertise. So we have accounts that do $5,000, $10,000 per day, and they advertise when $100. That's the budget for the entire day. That's how targeting we are with that stuff. So we actually use the data to generate organic sales and traffic for our customers. So you don't need to advertise a lot of stuff. You just have to have good products presenting for the customers with good images, all the stuff. Advertising is for, I don't know, for somebody that wants to enter the market, do all the stuff. So it's different. It's different when you establish sellers in advertising and we are new sellers. So that's some tricks you guys to take in consideration if you don't want to waste money.
Thank you. And Andrew, to begin, I quite got lost with eBay promotions, with the amount that they created, promoted listings, the percentage, you know, the different sales methods. What happens there, if you can update from today, how critical it is, or exactly as Sergiu says, of course, it's #1 to create the right listings. And is it possible to survive on eBay without the promotion?
So there's two elements on this. The promoted listings is a low-cost model compared to the others, where you pay on acquisition of sale. It's not cost per click. So you decide on, you know, the category. You would pay normally 10%, let's say. You decide I will pay anything between 5 or 30% extra to promote my listing on the top page. I always say that it is good to establish a new item or a new range. You know, eBay is a search engine, just like Amazon is, where it's all about relevance and how many people click through, how many people convert. And if you're not getting that traffic, you'll start going down and down and down on the page. So if you haven't had a sale on a listing for, let's say, over 2 months, then you might as well end the listing and republish the listing. One other thing I want to add on to this, and this is kind of a quick win, and it doesn't cost you any money, is one of eBay's biggest clients. eBay is one of Google's biggest clients, based on page search and also natural search. But you have to fill in your key identifiers on the listing in order for those listings to go across to Google. So what I mean by key identifiers, that is a brand, that is a part number or an MPN or a product code, and that is a UPC, a GTIN, or an EAN in Europe. Those are the 3 items you need to have on the listing. If you don't have a UPC, get one. They're very easy to do that. They don't check them on eBay. I know Amazon has some checking in place to make sure that they are genuine, they're registered, but you must fill that filled in, and then your item will index directly to Google. So if people are searching on there, they will find it and come over to eBay listing. So that's one kind of quick win that you can do with that, and it won't cost any money for that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you, Andrew. So again, yeah, this might be a little bit limited in jewelry because the jewelry is not a catalog product, so you don't always.
I agree, but just get a UPC or a.
I understand.
Come on, man. That's what I'm saying. This is the challenge. Unfortunately, eBay treats most products the same. That's the challenge you've got. They are getting better in different categories to embrace that zero. Mm-hmm. But unfortunately, it's a Google requirement. That's not an eBay requirement. It's a Google requirement to get that listing across over to Google.
So I want to also, okay, so where I see that it's interesting, there are more and more people on the webinar. Instead of churning, people join more. So, but still we're quite behind the time limitation that we defined. So I want to really ask some short questions. If you don't mind, in really a phrase or a two. So Liran, you spoke about photography. In-house or external?
The best thing is to have an in-house photographer, or to know how to, maybe to take a kind of a short photography course. As Sergio said, on the iPhone or other phones, you can have excellent photos. I mean, excellent photos, but you have to be kind of an artist. I mean, you need to know how to photo. I mean, it's not just I mean, I think Steve Jobs mentioned it once. The best camera is the one that you're holding. I mean, you need to know how to put it, how to make the atmosphere, the backgrounds and things like this to get a great photo. So you should try, only try. I mean, to make some tests. I mean, all the equipments are very cheap in these days. To have bright lighting and photo tent and things like this, it's not that, I mean, this is very affordable today. But still, you need to have the touch. I mean, to know how to do it very good.
Yeah.
I suggest to try to do it on your own and to take it to ask around people what they think about it. Don't ask the first circle. Don't ask your family and friends. Ask other people that will tell you the truth, and then go with it. I mean, if they'll say it's fine, you can go. We'll go with it. Still, it's usually a photo is a good investment. I mean, it's an investment. It's not a cost. I mean, if you have a great photo, it will sell a lot of rings. This is something to remember. I mean, a great photo in Etsy with a model. I mean, with a good hand. You don't need the whole model. You just need a good hand. You can make a lot of sales, which is this is a great investment. To go to a photographer.
I think that people will not start cutting hands from the models so that they can save on models and get only the good hands. So yeah, thank you. I just remember the meetup that you organized. You were in the scene with top Etsy sellers in Israel. And then there was a perfect question from somebody in the crowd. What is common with all the 8 people that there were on the scene? And you say everybody does photography in-house.
Yes.
So I think that this is the best answer.
Yeah, they do everything in-house. Actually, they don't. I mean, they're doing a lot of in-house.
It just takes 5 years to get there. Yeah, so that you can do everything in-house.
Yeah.
And Sergiu, going to Amazon, what would be your minimal product line? 10 products, 50 products, 500 products, 10,000 products? What do you say?
No, I always said focus on small, find your niche, and 10 products, and start with that. Because if you, in every business, if you want to start too many things, you want to go on eBay, Amazon, Etsy, Walmart, all those at the same time, and they want different prices, different images, lifestyle image, you'll get confused, you'll get overwhelmed. Then you start looking to hire somebody, you go more in depth, then you're not happy. Just start small with 10 images. Regarding the images, try at least, like Liran said, in doing house. If that's too complicated, buy equipment. There is light box out there. I think it's $1,000, if I'm not mistaken. I don't have any affiliation with that company, but they have a good machine that they can do lifestyle, video on that stuff. They have it's a very good one. By the way, on YouTube, you can make a house your own with tools that you have in house, and will do the same images. I tested by myself. Yeah. And the third one, then you think about hiring somebody to do images. Like everybody said, images, real estate is location, location, location. In jewelry, online is images, images, images. You don't need advertising. You don't need company to help you. But if you have good images, people will click and will check your item, you know? So just focus on images, you know?
Mm-hmm. Okay, and I wish I could ask all this question, each one of you guys, because you have each one very brilliant knowledge. Then Andrew, if you can, you know, just very quick answer. How many marketplace do I go when I start, or how many marketplace do I continue to work with when I'm already a grown up with a $50,000? What do you think?
Just to echo what Sergiu said, is that quantity is not the thing, and you've got to be good at what you're doing. So just be really good with regards to the inventory, put your toe in the water, start building on that, and make sure that that's optimized. And it's the same with marketplaces as well. The big ones, we just mentioned the big ones: Amazon, eBay, Walmart, Etsy in the US. I would not bother going any further than that in the US at this moment in time. And then the other thing is automation. Okay, so once you start building the business, then it's getting the mundane tasks automated with software, that you can then concentrate on the stuff that needs your flair, your enthusiastic, descriptions, your experience on as well. So, you know, use software to automate things as you start building things.
Mm-hmm. Okay, this makes complete sense to me. Liran, Amazon Handmade, worth mentioning?
Amazon worth mentioning if you can put items on the FBA, actually on the, usually this is the big thing to put, take your collect items and put it on the Amazon warehouses.
Including Amazon Handmade?
My audience, they can't do it. Actually, they can't do it because they are selling on the streets or on their shop, and they need this. I mean, the stock in-house. I mean, they need it here, and they can't do it. The second part of my audience is the jewelers. That's, I mean, they say, "What, you want me to send $20,000 items and to sit in the US?" So the ones that are doing it, it's a great. They're selling, and they're then send. Actually, that they can put things on Amazon FBA and sell from there, or to send from there to their Etsy client as well. This is something that can be done. Amazon Handmade specifically is a great backdoor to to Amazon. I mean, as Sergio mentioned earlier, you need to put $5,000 to go to the fine jewelry, and if you if you go to the Amazon Handmade, you don't need to pay anything, and sell the same products actually. So this is all. It's a great way, doorway to get to Amazon. But once again, the Amazon biggest advance is the Prime, the FBA. And if you are not using this thing, that don't go to Amazon, I think.
Okay, that's really more or less concludes about Amazon. Yeah. Yes. So last things before we end, because yeah, we still have questions, and we could sit here for hours. And just very short, even Liran, building a website, day one, not important, never.
I wouldn't build when you sell online. You must understand that if your price is high, I mean $200 and above, people would like to buy on Etsy, eBay, Amazon. They want the feedbacks. They want their insurance. They buy it in confidence. They will not buy on your website. I mean, you will have to make a lot of efforts to bring them to buy on your website. It's better to save this money and sell it on Amazon or on Etsy or on eBay. But after you have a lot of audience, I mean, you have a lot of returning customer, then you can convert them to your site, and maybe maybe can give them a nice discounts instead of paying this fees to Amazon or Etsy. Still, I can from my experience, most of the customer, also the repeated customer, will like to repeat buying on Etsy and not on my website. They will come back to Etsy. I mean, website is a nice thing. It's kind of an maybe an insurance if someone will close my Etsy shop or my Amazon shop, but still, no one will close your shop if you are a good seller, if you're a decent seller. So I wouldn't run to open an online shop. It's better to have a store on the marketplaces.
Thank you, Liran. And back to large companies, Andrew. Very shortly, if I have some B2B presence, I have my distributors. Doesn't it conflict with my online operation? Don't I kill my existing B2B operation?
Absolutely not. And this is the biggest question when I speak to brands, manufacturers, is that they're scared to take that leap into D2C, direct to consumer. And the ones that do don't notice a drop on their other channels at all. It's incremental sales, it increases. So it's how it's managed, that's a different thing. So it's how you perceive to your existing routes to market and bring them on that journey. That's the key thing. But one thing just to add on that is actually the consumer channels are tapping into B2B. You've got Amazon for Business, eBay for Business. They are already, quantity discounts. They're already tapping into that sort of element. And 20% of all customers on eBay are B2B customers. So you haven't got to ignore that.
Cool. Thank you. Thank you for this, Andrew. And actually, we can continue for another 3 sessions, but let's, I suggest that we stop here. We had some questions on chat, which we have also answered. And I encourage everyone who has questions, of course, keep asking them. We will be glad to introduce you to the people who listen to us. Where basically my personal belief is that it's crucial to have people like you, like yourself, when running e-commerce business. And now, if I may ask, probably I didn't ask some very important question, and which you think that is most important. So if you can somehow summarize what happens now on the marketplaces and what is the first 3 things to do. So each one of you, if you can summarize this. So Sergiu, Or what did I forget to ask? What should I ask?
Yes. So well, I wanted to answer a couple of the questions that you answered before, and I was very disappointed that you did not give me that chance.
Of course.
So when you said that when you want to jump for big companies, medium companies and big company, if you want to jump beyond Amazon or beyond Etsy or Walmart, I highly advise you to have inventory management software. So we at AMZGemz use Valigara, and I highly advise anybody that wants to save time and money and not hire to manage all the marketplaces, to have a system in place that can do that for you, can list the items, can update the items very quick and very easy. That's one of the secret weapon that we have in our company. And another thing is just try to sell in Etsy, in Amazon, in Walmart, and give it a try. If you don't have any sales in 3 months, then yeah, you can give up or do something else. But at least try and see if is that for you, because as you know, online is the future. You expect another pandemic every year, expect another riots or stuff like that. So your business has to have different channels, distribution, and different tools to sell your product if you want to stay in the business. Do not rely on the same things that worked 10 years ago or 3 years ago. You have to innovate. So Amazon is a marketplace that will innovate for you. The only thing that you have to do, they want your creation, your design to be out there. If it's out there, somebody will buy your product.
Thank you, Sergiu. Liran, I don't want to say your last words. It sounds horrible.
Not my, but actually, Sergio, you said you took my words, I guess. You can. I'll tell everyone here. The price point for open an Etsy shop is zero. I mean, it's 20 cents per item for 4 months. So give it a try. That's all. I mean, give it a try. And also on Amazon, $40 per month. It's nothing. It's worth the experience. It's better to try it and to understand, okay, it's not for me, than not do it and just in 3 years from now to say, oh, why haven't I started this business 3 years ago? I mean, people that are now selling on Etsy, some of my clients are, I think a lot of Etsy stores are now selling much more than they sold on the Christmas time. I mean, this is like a 2 months Christmas times for us. I mean, also for me, I'm selling courses, okay? But it's you can't see the snowflakes around here, but it's a long Christmas time for the ones that were prepared for this pandemic. I mean, I was prepared. I didn't mean to be prepared, but I'm on the online business, so it was a great opportunity for me. And as Sergio said, it's going to repeat, I guess. I mean, every year, every month. I mean, the governments for every flu, they will close all the cities, I guess, much easy. And we saw that we can live. I mean, that the people can do it. So I guess it's going to repeat itself every year. So be ready. That's my tip. Be ready. Have an online business.
Thank you, Liran. Thank you, Liran. Andrew.
Okay, I get the final word then, do I?
Yeah, final word. Final wish, final word.
Yeah. Okay. Actually, my colleagues on the panel have really said most of the things I was going to add. I'm just going to say 2 quick things. One is, and as Liran said, entry to start low cost. eBay at the moment are paying for store subscriptions to help businesses get online in the US. So there's an opportunity for you to actually embrace that. I believe that's to the end of September, so you can embrace that. The second thing is, we work with a lot of different sellers. All our sellers have seen increases of double over the last 10 to 12 weeks. And if you're not online, you're not on marketplaces, you're missing that action. And that's a lasting thought. That is I looked at our figures this morning. It's yesterday actually, first of the month. I was amazed. actually, at the figures that some of these businesses, and some of these are categories you wouldn't even think would have increased over that time. So, you know, you've got to embrace it. That's all I'll say.
Thank you, Andrew. So my last words, and actually you say that, and it's funny when you say just try. So there is some wonderful saying. It's better to try and get disappointed than not to try and get disappointed. So this is one thing, and just to prove that I really deeply agree with you guys on just e-commerce is not for tomorrow. It's not for today. It's already basically yesterday, especially that we've got a 10 years fast forward with this. And this is actually the page that I have here left for me always on my desk. It's this. I hope that it's readable, right? It's readable.
Yeah.
It's just
Done.
it's done is better than perfect. So what I warmly wish to all the people that take another, eternity to prepare themselves, just get your hands into the dirt, start digging, start trying, learning, listening to the right advices, which is most probably very important, not the most, but very important thing. And I want to thank all of you guys. First of all, it took me 10 years to find all of you, and it's not obvious, yeah. To have people like yourself, I wish every jewelry seller to have your phone numbers, emails, WhatsApps, Skype. We're the old school here. We even use Skype sometimes, Slack and whatever in their phone books, and just enjoy selling, enjoy growing and making new beginnings. So thank you very much, guys. I appreciate your time. It's a big pleasure. And the webinar will be available as a recording because many people asked us, we cannot attend, as you know, with all the webinars. The webinar will be available as a recording to the participants, to the people who attended, and welcome to request more recordings. It will not be immediately open for everyone. And I wish everyone the good. It's good. Prepare for the next pandemic next year. I think it's a good slogan.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, guys. Have a great day.
Thank you, Igor.
In touch.
Bye-bye.
Enjoy selling. Bye.